2 years ago I visited a supermarket in Russia and my video went viral. The reception was amazing, but many people complained that that one wasn't a proper supermarket, but more of a mini market. Therefore, today in 2026, we are gonna explore a massive Russian supermarket. This one is located inside the massive Kazan mall. And I assure you, I've never been to a supermarket so big in Russia. Hopefully we will not get copyrighted by the music, but we can start with the furniture section and then we can move on to the food and alcohol area, because in the previous video everybody loved the alcohol section. No surprises. My first night in Moscow was absolutely crazy. Now let's speak about the supermarket. Let's see what do they sell, if the prices are fair, and if it's actually cheaper, like many people say. But let me just say that alcohol in Moscow, partying in Moscow, is not cheap at all. Russia! It's more expensive than partying in Rome and many other parts of Europe. But yeah, luggages, bags, 5,000 is not cheap at all. 8,000 is like $100, maybe 8,500. Let me show you immediately the magical converter we got today. I use this app because it is completely free. You just need the internet, which is a big downside, which is also maybe complicated to get in Russia as well. So no, 5,000 is $67. $67 for that bag, which you could get in China for $10 or $15. So we can immediately see that Russia is not cheap at all. But what can you find in a Russian supermarket that is not seen abroad? This! I never seen them inside a supermarket before. I'm totally shocked and surprised. But I guess when the weather changes so fast, like winter and summer over here, you need to change wheels. Where do you get your wheels? In a supermarket? Not wheels, in English it's tires, but in Italiano we still call them wheels, even if they are called tires. But yeah, batteries and hits and line. Okay, this is for 300. 300 is not a bad price at all. I just got a flat white for 240 maybe. At the machine the similar coffee is about half price, so 300 is $4.04 for a head. Now if you compare these prices with the average salaries in this country, maybe a $4 head is expensive, maybe not. Fish, at the moment we are in the central part of Russia, so 237, 187 per 100 grams, so 282 for the head. Seen in some country they give the head to the woman, and it's like the most delicious part. And I think it happened in one of my videos in Uganda, which I needed to give the head. The husband gets the tail, and the kids they get the central part of the fish. But here in Russia, I don't know if there are some of these kind of traditions. Oh, look at this beauty! Fresh salmon. 149, I guess it's for 100 grams. Interesting. I like it. I like to have fresh fish. But let's move on here to the frozen stuff. One thing that shocked me when I visited the US is that the frozen section is like 90% of the supermarket. In the rest of the world, they do have fresh products, and they do have pizza. Let's see how Russians make Italian pizza. Right height, then other pizzas which they might be too tall, and then we move on to the frozen veggies. And frozen veggies, something I noticed is not common in China. You always find the fresh ones, never the frozen ones. And then Italian ice cream that is not made in Italy and then was bought later by a German company. And this section is gonna get very interesting because Coca-Cola is not allowed to sell in Russia anymore. So if they do import Coca-Cola, it usually comes from China. but they simply converted the Coca-Cola factories into Russian factories. So now it has another branding, another name, and all is good, all is well. Oh, you can even find, I guess this one is from Japan, judging by the flag. Very interesting. I wish I learned some Cyrillic. And Ghana. So Africa is exporting to Russia. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I need to visit Ghana someday. And here, the yogurt section. I admit, after some hours spent in this country and still not being able to go to the toilet, I bought a couple of these yogurts and it works immediately. You know, sometimes when you travel, you change country. That's what you need to do. By the way, I do love this cheese. For 94 is amazing. I add some milk next to it and I mix it together and then later add it inside the sandwiches. Parmalat. I think this was an Italian brand in the past. Now I don't know if it's Italian anymore. Italy is a country which is completely selling off everything because we are completely failing. Over here we do get more yogurts. I guess yogurts are super popular. And again more and more yogurts. Yesterday I tried one of these salads over here, and which one was it? I cannot find it right now, but it was delicious. I think like mayonnaise is a cultural component of Eastern Europe. So if you find products with mayonnaise, just be reminded that you will find it all over the place in Russia and Ukraine probably. But what I did yesterday is I bought some of this salami, I bought some of this cheese and other products that you can see over here, and I will tell you exactly how much I spent. And I went home and cooked a massive dinner for myself. I also bought some cabanos, which are super popular in Poland and which you can often find in Kaliningrad, which is next to Poland and next to Lithuania. It's a Russian city, but it's very hard to find over here. I noticed that they are not as popular here in central Russia. I don't know if you guys consider Kazan central Russia, but let's skip this section because I want to bring you to the bread part. Yesterday night, maybe it was late, there weren't many options available, and I've never seen this one. Also written in Italiano, rosso bianco. You see, I think some of these brands, Nescafe, I guess they didn't stop exporting here. I think some of these brands, they simply rebranded because the graphics outside, they look exactly like Dove and all the other ones that we get in other parts of the planet. Oh, these are a delicious snack for 59. And Pepero. This is from Korea. Number 1 in Korea. So I think you can get a bit of everything. So as I was telling you, yesterday night when I approached the bread section, it was late, it was almost finished, but I was so tempted to try this one. This is a very fresh product. It's actually so hot, just made. It's massive. Maybe I need to find a couple of friends and share it with them. And it smelled incredibly delicious. And I also noticed that these pre-made, pre-cooked products are not as popular, but for 204 you can get this pasta with lots of meat or salads, lots of types of salad, but they're not so common. I guess the majority of the people shopping in this supermarket, they simply cook at home, which is obviously the right thing to do. And this is one of the cheapest breads I found, 39. It's pretty massive. And what did I get yesterday? I got this one because it reminded me of Italian sandwiches, but it's completely filled up inside. It's kind of heavy, it's big, it will make you full, so I didn't finish the entire thing I was shopping. Over here, for 129, we get this brand, which I usually buy in China for 15 RMB. So I think we need to compare the prices of this one, because I actually know the price in China, and actually I can find it for even cheaper, but 129. Let's see if it's more expensive in Russia or in China. 11.83. Yeah, I can find it also for 11.12. So more or less same prices as in China. Absolutely fantastic. Cake section. I am not an expert about cakes. I have a massive belly, but I don't eat sugar. Just a dumb eater. I eat way too much. And now I guess it's time to approach the coffee section. I don't know how strong is the coffee culture in Russia. I think in the majority of the country, the majority of the people, they do have chai as a main drink, but in the cities that are more westernized, there are coffee places everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Ooh. It reminds me of some other cookies from other places. Let's go forward. Chocolate, crunchy, granola. The thing is, I cannot recognize the majority of the brands. Arabica roasted beans from Africa. Very, very cool. Again, Africa. I think simply the majority of the company, this one is popular worldwide and Nescafe, they simply got a different name. And they kept going with their life, and rightfully so. You cannot lose a market with 100 million people or more. Intenso. Italian. So in Italy we don't really have coffee, but we are the expert in making coffee. We import coffee from Ethiopia, Indonesia, Colombia, Brazil and many other places, and we know how to use the coffee machines very well, and the grinding machine and the roasting machine. So so that's how Italy became famous for coffee, also because it's so cheap. You can have coffee for €1, one espresso. And you can have Aperol, another Italian drink, aperitivo, for €9.49. I need to check how much is nice. It's like €12, €13. It's not bad at all, €9.49. I think it's a very fair price, to be honest. Yeah, it's like €11, about $12. Makes sense, makes sense. Campari, Martini, must be the Italian section. The aperitif section. I love to see these graphics. This reminds me of the South American cultures. Let's see what else. This is a bit dark for 1,099 this bottle. What else can we get? There is lots of Pinot Grigio and Carolina, Santa Carolina. Where is it from? I like it. I like the branding. I think I've seen this in the past. Chile. Beautiful. Looks very beautiful. And also kinda affordable. So I don't know what's the relationship between Chile and Russia. I think it's good because they are so far from each other and there shouldn't be any problem. But yeah. I love watching the graphics on the bottle. This is so nice, and it's from Sicilia. Donna Fugata. Interessante. I've never seen this brand in Italy, but kinda wanna try it. And of course, the one I wanna try is the most expensive. 2,500. How much is 2,500?
Уважаемые покупатели, для вашего удобства работают свободные кассы под номерами
28 euros,
21,
$33.73. I need to make some friends in Kazan and have wine, not just vodka like it happened in Moscow. And over here, look, next to the wine, they do sell cheese. This is so smart. If you want to have an aperitif, you get cheese next to it and more wine. I guess expensive bottles that, no, not even that expensive, just some type of bottles that people want to keep fresh. In Italy, usually the red wine is not kept in the fridge, but the white one is. And again, matrimonio siciliano, which means Sicilian wedding. And look how cheap it is, 339. So many products. But now, let's go find out about the Coca-Cola bottles. Gin, Sky Gin. This is what I usually get, the Bombay Sapphire. best gin, one of the best gins on a fair price, and then there are others like the gin mare, delicious but expensive. If you never tried the gin mare, you have the budget to do so, or you have rich friends, which I'm lucky to have. Get a bottle of gin mare and try this one. I still love this beer. Let love in fruit beer. Look at these designs. Hoppy lager, not happy lager. And the upper. Beautiful, beautiful designs. Let's go find out very quick Coca-Cola. Look how nice. They tell you this is strawberry juice. Never seen a strawberry juice before. No idea what the price. Maybe this one. Pretty cool. And worldwide, the main brand I think is like Lay's, but you get also Doritos, $2.39. Let me know in the comments if you think the price is fair. What else? No idea what it is, but with mushroom chips and Lay's chips. Ooh, there are days which I love this shape and days which I don't. It's like, I don't know, depends on what I'm eating probably. And Pringles, original paprika, and the Lay's copy of Pringles, which is slightly cheaper, not much cheaper, just slightly. That's what you need to do when you make a coffee. Or you make it super fancy, or you make it cheaper. And now, finally, we reached the miracle section, the Coca-Cola, the local cola. Simply a different brand. It will be very, very interesting to see what's the taste. The graphic is almost the same. The name is simply different, and there is this local superstar probably, I don't know, maybe a singer or maybe an influencer promoting it. But check this out. You can still get it. Let's see from here. Another one. Check this out, 139. Where does it come from? Tarkinda, caffeine. I'm trying to find out the country. If you guys know the country, please let me know in the comments. No idea. What about this one? It's written in Cyrillic, so who knows? Who knows? So you can still buy Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola 139, the copy of cola. Oh look, Cola Zero even. Let's see the copy of cola 109. Almost the same price, 20 cheaper. Now, if you're Russian, do you believe the Coca-Cola is better or is it actually the same product? Just let me know in the comments. For the rest, we didn't explore much of the fruit section. But yeah, at this part of Russia I guess it's good weather for apples. These are massive apples. What the heck? Sweet apple. Man, I assure my hand can hold a basketball. This is massive. Very hard to understand how big it is, but yeah, there are apples which I've never seen. And this massive apple, $2.89. I don't know if it's per grams or per piece, probably per grams. Absolutely incredible. Do we need any other things? No? I guess we can close this video, and please go watch all my other Russian videos. It's much appreciated. Like, comment, subscribe. Ciao.